This show is your trusted guide to helping you navigate the world of insurance. My name is Akan Usen, standing in for Victor Oteri. And of course, on this show, each week, we explore policies, plans, and strategies to safeguard your well-being and secure your tomorrow. One more time, welcome to the show. It's going to be a great time as we empower you with knowledge to protect yourself with confidence on the show. Stay tuned. Of course, insurance is not just a policy, it's peace of mind. It helps you stay protected, it helps you stay secure, it gives you peace of mind. Nobody plans for anything to happen, but it's good to have that safety net when the unforeseen happens. And this show, which of course is brought to you by AIICO PLC, does that, giving you the much needed information that of course you can harness to help yourself prepare for the unforeseen. Of course, as the show progresses, we'll definitely be giving you traffic feeds to help you, navigate in and out of the Lagos metropolis as you travel down. All right, we'll go for a quick breather, and when we come back, we'll definitely take it to the next level, and we'll introduce our guest on the show. A quick breather, and I'll be right back. Stay close.
What just happened? What kind of question is that? Can't you see? Wow! That looks like a brand new SUV. What kind of vehicle is that? What kind of question is that? Can't you see? Was it the motorcycle that caused it? Or the cooling van? What kind of question is that? Can't you see? But why is that man smiling and pressing his phone instead of pressing that careless man's face against the car's floorboard? And what kind of question is that? Can't you see? But what kind of man is that?
Wait, seriously, what kind of man is that? Yes, that's the kind of man that has prepared for the unexpected. The man that knows that when accident happens, AIICO Auto Insurance Plan keeps you covered, so you don't have to worry. Get the AIICO Auto Insurance Plan today. Call us on 0700 iContact, that is 0700 2442 668228, or visit www.aicoplc.com to learn more. AIICO Insurance, your stable friend, yesterday, today, and always.
Your stable friend, yesterday, today, and always.
Welcome back to the show, and traffic-wise, for those coming in from the Third Mainland Bridge, from part of the island via the Third Mainland Bridge, you have nothing to worry about until you connect inwards the Lakbere end, where it starts getting slow from the Ogudu end, but taking it back from the Ifako end thereabouts, it's not so bad, but it starts building up inwards Ogudu. Now, looking at other parts, precisely somewhere around the inner part of Ikorodu, slow and steady inwards Sabo Nimalu market from Sabo roundabout, while the return journey is not looking bad at this time around that end. Sabo Nimalu market inwards Alaka down to Itamaga is appreciable, but you will experience a bit of a delay when you approach Itamaga due to manual alternation, and the return journey is okay. Itamaga journey inwards Lucky Fiber down to Maya connecting Adamo is encouraging, but slow at Adamo access due to bus stop activities. Now, for those who listened to us last week, it was quite an educative and eye-opening time on the show where we talked about the flexible endowment plan. We're going to be doing the second installment of that particular discussion we had. Of course, it was quite an eye-opening time with Mr. Olaolu Famewo. Yes, Mr. Olaolu Famewo is already here via phone lines, of course. Mr. Olaolu Famewo is the Life Underwriting Manager, AIICO PLC. Olaolu, welcome. Olaolu, can you hear me? Olaolu? Hello? All right, a bit of a challenge with the phone lines, and let's see if this will work this time. Olaolu, can you hear me? Hello? Olaolu Famewo, can you hear me? All right, I will try to see how we can, polish that. Let's just quickly look at the traffic situation from the Mushin axis, what's happening around that. And I can tell you it is quite a steady one all the way from Moshlashi to Bishop Junction. Onward movement from Idio Road down Olosha inwards Ogmokun Junction is moving traffic. En route Ojuoye intersection to post office is busy with commercial and commuter activities. Onward movement to challenge inwards Kappa Olupese is good, while connecting under Bridge Oshodi en route Brown Junction inwards the Bolade Arena end is just a steady movement occasioned by human and vehicular movement. Now, for those coming in from the Lukweju end, inwards and outwards Olajire and its environs is good to go. We have we've reconnected with Olaolu Famewo. Olaolu, can you hear us now? Olaolu?
Yeah, good evening.
Good
I can
evening.
hear you clearly.
Great. Okay, so earlier it was a bit of a challenge hearing you, although I could hear the dog barking in the background.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I think it was network.
Yes, okay. So, Olaolu, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm very well,
good
thank
to be
you.
back again.
Indeed. Okay, so for just doing a bit of a recap, last week we talked about the flexible endowment plan, and we'll be continuing on that. So we'll start by asking you to rewind on what flexible endowment plan is. Of course, some people might not have been listening to the show, or perhaps they might have forgotten. So let's just do that. Let's do a bit of revision, so to say. So what is a flexible endowment plan?
Okay, so I'll just take it this way, right? So flexible endowment plan is a product of AIICO Insurance PLC.
Yes.
And it combines both protection and investment.
Protection and investment.
It's actually a product that has two behaviors.
Okay.
One behavior is to protect and give adequate cover to our esteemed customers. And the other behavior is to give investment income to the customers, right?
Okay.
And we also said that the product pays out in three phases.
Yes.
The first is what we call first partial maturity,
Okay.
which is 25% of the face value of the contract. For example, it's 25% of the sum assured. So, for example, the sum assured is 10 million naira.
Yes.
25% of 10 million naira will be 2.5 million
2.5. Yes.
And it pays that out as when the policy becomes 1/3.
1/3.
So
Okay.
the policy is in different year categories.
Okay.
You could buy it for 6 years, 9
Right.
years, 12 years, and 15 years.
Okay.
So if it's for 15 years, 1/3 of the policy becomes the 5th year of the policy
Yes.
into the policy. And the second payment is 25% of the same sum assured, which becomes payable when the policy is 2/3 of the duration of the policy. And the last payment is maturity benefits, which is the total sum of the benefit of the policy. For example, the one we mentioned, which is 10 million naira, that 10 million naira becomes payable as benefits, plus other certain incentives and what we call reversionary bonus,
Reversionary
policy
bonus.
and the rest.
All
And
right.
why we said why we encourage that partial maturity is because paying premium for long period, for example, 15 years,
Yes.
might become too monotonous. So
So there need to be incentives, so to say.
Yes, so that it becomes more interesting to the customer. And that's why we have the partial maturity. And we also mentioned some of the features last week. We mentioned the features of a reversionary bonus that is, it pays out 4% of the sum assured per annum into the policy investment portfolio. Also, that it also provides what we call cash value for the policy. And because of that cash value, our customer could access loan from the policy. And before you can access the loan, you must have maintained the policy for at least 3 years.
Okay.
So those are some of the things we mentioned last week.
All right. Okay, so reversionary bonus, that's where I want us to start from. Now, just do a bit of explanation from a layman's perspective. What do you mean by reversionary bonus? Could you explain that to me again? And how much would it be? Let's do a scenario. So let's just do a scenario, so to say, so that our people can really understand. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're still going to use the same scenario we used last week.
Okay.
We created for Michael. That met with Olaolu and was a live underwriting underwriter.
Yes.
So we say that reversionary bonus. So best way to say it is a loyalty bonus.
Loyalty bonus, okay.
Is more of a loyalty bonus that is paid to customers or policy holders.
Okay.
Who have been consistently committed to the policy. So it's always paid along with the maturity of the benefit or earlier death benefit.
Okay.
So the bonus is 4% of the sum assured
4%,
of the policy.
Okay.
For example, the last week we created the scenario of 30 million naira.
Yeah.
So 4% of that 30 million naira would be 1.2 million.
Yes, 1.2
per annum.
Yes.
And if you multiply that 1.2 million, you also remember that we said that the is paid throughout for each year of the policy.
Yes.
And you remember that we mentioned that the policy was for 15 years last week.
Yes.
And so that's 1.2 million naira times 15.
Wow.
And then the benefit will become like about 18 million naira.
Yes.
Also.
Yes.
So reversionary bonus again is more of loyalty bonus that is paid to committed customers. So what it simply means is that once the customer is not committed during a particular period of time, the reversionary bonus will not be paid.
Okay.
But for the years that is committed, I think what we mean by being committed.
Yeah, because I was going to ask. Yes, you say it's the reward commitment. So, meaning there are instances where commitment might not, you might not. So this is a reward for commitment, so to say. But I know there was also another part of this particular plan where you said maybe due to sickness or something, if someone is not able to pay for a certain period of time.
Waiver of premium.
Yes, waiver of premium. Yes.
Yes. Okay,
so how does that come in?
So for the year that the premium was made,
yes.
Reversionary bonus
will not.
Don't forget that we said
yes.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't forget that we said that we are the one paying for the period during the waiver.
Waiver. Okay.
So assuming the premium, we waive the premium for 1 year or 2 years.
Yes.
AIICO must have paid that premium on behalf of the customer.
On behalf.
So we have already committed to the policy and paid from our own income into the policy to ensure that the policy continues.
So definitely you cannot expect to collect a reversionary bonus.
Additional benefit.
Yes.
But for the years that the customer consistently made his payment
Premiums,
on time,
yeah.
of course, reversionary bonus will be accrued to the policy. And we also said that the reversionary bonus is paid when the policy matures, right?
Yes.
If the policy becomes matured, the total sum assured will be
paid
along with the reversionary bonus.
Okay.
Again,
yeah.
this is earlier debt. So the policy did not mature. The customer in the process,
Yes. Lost his
died.
life. Yeah.
So let's say for into the 15 years, he's paid for about 11 years, and that was when the customer died. So the sum assured, which is 30 million naira that we created last week, will be paid to the assured plus reversionary bonus for 11 years, to the beneficiary.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's basically how it works.
Okay. But what if for one reason or the other I want to collect reversionary bonus before maybe I want this bonus before maturity date? Is it possible?
Okay, so the reversionary bonus cannot be collected in full before maturity date or prior death.
Okay.
Right? Don't forget that we said it's a loyalty bonus.
Yes.
The bonus is computed and added to the maturity benefit.
Yes.
Again, and also to death benefit. So you cannot collect it in advance, of course. And if the customer wants to surrender the policy, of course, reversionary bonus will not be paid. You know that we say it a whole lot of times that we don't encourage surrender of policies.
Okay.
But then, if a customer surrender the policy, reversionary bonus will not be paid with surrender benefit.
Okay. All right. So let's talk a bit about the loan part. You mentioned that a loan can be granted on this policy. How much can be granted as loan on this policy?
Okay, so let me put it this way. The policy loan that can be granted on this policy is 70% of the cash value of the policy.
Okay.
Right? At every year, cash value is being accumulated.
Okay.
And that's why we said that, if you remember, I said it last week, I think I said it today again.
Yes.
That loan is payable when the policy is 3 years and above.
Okay.
When the customer has maintained the policy
for 3 years.
The reason for that is, after 2 years, the policy can be surrendered.
Okay.
And the implication is it already has cash value. So for 3 years, when the policy becomes 3 years, the cash value is, let me use this language, it will make sense. It will begin to make sense.
Cash value.
So the loanable value on the policy becomes 70% of the cash value of the policy.
Laulu,
so
please. Laulu, what is cash value?
Yeah.
What is cash value? What do you mean by cash value?
Okay, so let me explain it this way.
Yes.
When you buy an endowment policy,
yes.
The first year there is basically no value to the policy.
Okay.
Because the first year there are a lot of expenses on the policy.
Yes.
And the policy is just barely in existence. So the policy does not have value. I wouldn't want to mention the fees and expenses on policy on radio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why the policy don't have really cash value. But by the time the customer pays for the second year, some of the expenses are already been taken care of.
Okay.
So there is leftover.
Yes.
On the premium that was paid by the customer.
All right.
So what we are saying is, practically the first year, there's no leftover for the insurance company as profit. So by the time the customer paid for the second year, the insurance company is having a bit of leftover from the premium that was paid.
Okay.
And don't forget that as premium is paid, there's provision for death benefit, because you can pay the first premium and the customer will die in between the first premium was paid.
Yes.
Right? So that is how cash value comes. By the time the customer is paying the third year, you realize that the value of the policy, the premium leftover or accumulate with investment, is already not gaining investment, right? Investment income.
Yes.
Is becoming more better. And that's basically what we mean by cash value.
Cash value.
So the policy is already gathering cash in value that can be used for loan and surrender value.
Okay. All right, Laulu, we'll go for a quick break just to check out traffic and, of course, take a message from our sponsors. At this time around the Aja axis from Marwa connecting Ikate Chisco busy, while moving towards Jakonde is busy from First Gate Igboefon. Chevron, however, looks okay, but Toll Plaza to Eleganza is busy, and the main reason for this is commercial activities. Ikota Bridge, Ikota School down to VGC is good. Landmark turning connecting Ilaja Aja busy, and this is due to commercial activities. We'll go for a quick breather and we'll be right back. Stay close.
Honestly, I am fed up of my street.
Hey, what's wrong now?
I think my street is jinxed. Over the weekend, my apartment was boggled, and the criminals made away with valuables. They even took my son's toy treasure box.
Stable and reliable.
And just this morning, there was a huge fire incident in my neighbor's house, and he lost everything. I mean, everything.
Wow. Anyway, like I said before, stable and reliable.
What are you saying? Are you mocking me?
Abba, of course not. I just said
Obtainable, portable, blah, blah, blah. I can write too. It doesn't help my situation.
Okay, you remember I had similar experience last year, but thankfully I had signed up to a fire and burglary insurance plan with a stable and reliable partner, AIICO Insurance.
Oh, now I get it now. Yeah. But why did you tell me all this while now?
When the unexpected happens to your home appliances, AIICO provides the insurance cover that makes you worry-less. Get the AIICO Fire and Burglary Insurance Plan today. Call us on 0700 iContact. That is 0700 2442 668228 or visit www.aicoplc.com to learn more. AIICO Insurance, your stable friend. Yesterday, today, and always.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, and it's insurance on the move. And we have Olaolu Famewo on the line. And of course, Olaolu Famewo is an underwriter. Yes, he is a life underwriting manager with AIICO PLC, and he has been taking us to the classroom. We have been discussing about the flexible endowment policy, and he told us, of course, this combines protection and investment. He told us all the beautiful features, what you get to, gain if you come on board. He talked about the waiver of premium, maybe how it comes to play, what happens, and yes, today we have also discussed the reversionary bonus, and there's something you also mentioned, Olaolu. You said we're talking if the policy can be terminated or surrendered. You already mentioned that it's only if after 2 years. Am I correct? I know you mentioned. Okay, so anything before 2 years, it's not possible.
No. We refer it back to the cash value we just spoke about.
Yes, cash value.
Like I said,
yes.
It has no value.
No value. So definitely,
no value.
It's a no-brainer asking you if you would advise any policyholder to surrender this policy.
One of the most difficult things we actually want to talk about is to surrender the policy. So that's why. Okay, so there are alternatives for a customer when you are in need of finance,
okay,
when you are having such a project,
yes,
a contract,
yes,
a policy with you. So if you are in need of money, and that's why you are thinking about surrendering the policy, then you can look at the cash value aspect of the policy.
Yes.
Then we advise you on if you can take loan. So a lot of time we have manufacturers, importers that buy into the policy, and sometimes they will approach us and say, my container, especially our brothers,
yes,
from that side, my
yes,
container just landed.
And you need money sharp.
Yeah, I need money sharp. And most of the time, we just advise them to go for loan, and you are surprised that they will pay back the loan, and the interest rate on our loan is 12% per annum, quite reasonable. Quite cheap.
Well, Olaolu, yes. But how about this is just in the event that the policyholder dies before the end of the policy duration, how much will the beneficiary get?
Okay, so now if a policyholder dies before the end of the duration, the sum assured,
yes,
of the policy, so like the one we created is 30 million.
Yes,
will be paid with the accumulated reversionary bonus.
Okay.
If there is unclaimed partial maturity.
Yes.
You remember last week that when we spoke about partial maturity,
yes,
I said something that we can reinvest it.
All right.
So if partial maturity was reinvested, that will also be paid.
More
But
profit.
if partial maturity was not reinvested,
Yes.
two things will be paid. The sum assured of the policy will be paid,
Yes.
and the reversionary
Reversionary
bonus
bonus that has been accumulated also. All
Yes,
right.
yes.
All right. Okay, so let's do a scenario. Let's simulate something. Michael has chosen 30 million assured for 15-year plan. What will be his annual premium? Let's calculate
Okay, so
that.
there are so many. Yeah, so there are so many things that we take into consideration in calculating premium, right? We look at Michael's age. We look at his occupation, what he's into. We look at his health status and,
Yes.
and the rest.
Yes.
It's not that we don't cover people that have certain ailments. Of course, we cover them, but on advice of a medical practitioner, medical doctor, we might decide to load them. And
Okay.
loading them means paying extra premium.
Mm.
So, for a case of Michael in this case, let's say that Michael is age 30 and is for 15 years policy. So Michael will be paying 2.7 million naira approximately
Okay.
on annual basis as premium.
Okay. Okay. So should
let's-
yeah. Okay.
let's-
Yes. Please go on.
No, I'm with you.
Okay. I'm just so if Michael sees his policy through the entire duration, what will be his total premiums paid compared with the benefits?
Okay, so let's speak to the protection and the investment aspect of
Yes,
the policy now.
yes.
Now, I just mentioned that Michael will be paying it around
2.7.
million.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you multiply that 2.7 by 15 years, Michael must have paid a total of about 40 million naira as premium. So now what becomes his benefit at the end of the day? So the first benefit is we look at sum assured that we spoke about, which is 30 million.
Yes.
The first partial maturity, which is 25% of the 30 million, is 7.5 million. You remember that we said that will be paid as 1/3 of duration of the policy.
Yes.
The second partial maturity, which is another 25% of the sum assured, that will become payable when the policy is 2/3 duration,
Yes.
is another 7.5 million.
Yes.
So remember that we mentioned reversionary bonus before,
Mhm.
and we said the reversionary bonus is 4% of the sum assured, which is 1.2 times 15 years. That will be 18 million naira. So the total benefits that will be accrued to Michael at the expiration of the policy duration, it will be around 63 million naira.
63
And that is
million.
why, and that's why we said it's an endowment. So
It's an endowment.
endowment speaks to protection. If anything happens, the guaranteed sum assured will be paid to the beneficiary.
Wow.
And if Michael survives the policy, he's getting about 73 million naira so far.
I mean,
There's extra like 20 million naira plus
Okay.
on the policy as benefit to Michael.
Laulu, yes, we have run out of time. Quickly, who can take this policy, and is there any age limit?
Okay, so anybody that is desirous that in putting an adequate protection over himself can take the policy and lost his family. Yes, so there's age cap. The age cap is not less than 20 years and not more than 57 years old
All
can
right.
buy the policy.
Okay, so Laulu, we have run out of time, but for anybody who wants more information, how do we reach out?
Okay, well, of course, you can always reach out to AIICO on 07024 42668228, and we have our branches across Lagos and across Nigeria. And you can also always reach out to any of our marketers. We have them all around you.
All right. Thank you so much for an amazing and educating time on radio. Thank you. All right, indeed. And the show has come to an end. Of course, by the time we come again, which of course the next episode of the show, the next edition of the show, Victor Terry will of course be back with more goodness and more educating content for you as regards, protecting yourself. At this time, I just want to say empower yourself with knowledge, protect yourself with confidence, and I want to say see you next time on the show. This show has been packaged by Definite Media Concepts, and big thank you to them. Till we come your way next week, remember, insurance is more than just a policy. It is peace of mind. Stay protected, stay secure.